preparing for your forthcoming exams. Before starting with the class, let's have a look at the thought for the day. And today's thought is a quote given by APJ Abdul Kalam. And what he says, if you fail, never give up. Because fail means F-A-I-L. Fail means first attempt in learning. And so true. When we begin to learn something, it's not that we start doing it perfectly, right? We keep on failing maybe for many times if something is really very tough. So this failing should not dishearten us. Rather, this failure should be taken as a lesson. You come to know, you learn that what is lacking, where you need to improve, where more efforts are needed. So when you retrospect over all these things, then see to it that one day this failure will change into a great success. So on this note, wishing you all a great success ahead in life, let's start with today's class. So today we are going to continue with our Mother's Day lesson. The story till now that we have done is in a family there is a mother, father and two children, Doris and Cyril, right? So the entire family does not give an appropriate respect to the mother. They don't appreciate the efforts made by her, right? They are not grateful towards her. They don't thank her for anything, whatever she does. Rather, they think that it's her duty, whatever she's doing, right? They all think that they are working outside, going to office for jobs and all. So they're doing something great, and what does the mother do? She's just sitting at home and doing the household work. So they do not pay any respect to her, and every night they go out, leaving the mother alone at home. Nobody is bothered, neither the husband nor the children. They're not bothered. Then what happened? There's a neighbor, Mrs. Fitzgerald, who's a card reader. So she also knows some magic, and she is discussing with the mother that how they can help, how the situation can be put into right place. And for doing so the lady suggests that it is not that physically we interchange each other, but we will interchange our souls, right? And this will be done through a magic. So they do that, and after that the lady who is very bold, very commanding, that is Mrs. Fitzgerald, her soul goes into the body of Mrs. Pearson, and Mrs. Pearson's soul, shy, down to earth, that soul goes into the body of Mrs. Fitzgerald. Now Mrs. Pearson is trying to teach lesson to the entire family. The way she talks, the way she behaves, the whole family is not able to take that behavior, right? Whereas they don't realize that they themselves have been behaving in the similar manner towards her. So when it was actually happening with them, they were not able to take it, they were not able to accept it. And then Mrs. Fitzgerald, in whom the soul of Mrs. Pearson is there, she comes to have a look, and she is very much moved with all those things that are happening in the family. She is not able to see how the family was suffering. So she says immediately to stop the game there itself. So again they interchange the soul, and now also after interchanging also Mrs. Fitzgerald, she advises Mrs. Pearson that not to be soft, not to be polite again, do not give explanations why you had been behaving like this, do not apologize to them. If you do so, again the things will be spoiled, right? Instead of learning a lesson, they will think that it just happened. So again they will start behaving in the same way. So she does not want Mrs. Pearson to apologize or give any explanation. And And then she is asking, what do you want them to do for you today? Maybe something which is very unusual is stay at home with you, right? So Mrs. Pearson is very happy with this thought, but she is at the same time a bit confused whether she will be able to keep up the things, right? Or whether the thing what they had done will really change the circumstances, are really going to help in changing the family. So Mrs. Fitzgerald says, let's have a test. Let's test it and see whether it's really going to work or no. And then Mrs. Pearson is asking, how do we test? So let's see how they are tested to see whether their plan has worked or no. So we are on page number 51, towards the end of the page. Mrs. Fitzgerald, that will do then. She moves towards the door left, then turns. But remember, keep firm or you have had it. She opens the door calling, Hoy, you can come in. Coming away from the door and moving right slightly, quietly. But remember, a firm hand. So after they had discussed, Mrs. Pearson says, yes, I would like them to stay with me, and also I want them to help me out in preparing the supper, dinner. And after that, after the dinner, I would like to have a game of rummy with them. Right? So then, that is all what she wants. So small little things the mother is wanting the family to do, which the family is not doing. Right? So then she says, I want to have all these things which we only do it on Christmas. Right? Except for Christmas. Christmas is a festival, and as we all know, during festival time, we all afford to stay at our home, to spend time with our family. So maybe during the Christmas Eve only, the whole family would stay in and then they would enjoy. And rest part of the year, all the year around, the family would be out. They would not spend any time with the mother. So Mrs. Fitzgerald, they are ready with the plan. They are ready to check whether the plan is working or no. And then she calls them to come in. And then slowly they all come in. But then again Mrs. Fitzgerald, she reminds Mrs. Pearson to be firm and not to change her mind. George, Doris and Cyril file in through the doorway, looking apprehensively at Mrs. Pearson. So in a line they all are walking and entering into the room, and they all are looking at Mrs. Pearson. I'm just off to let you enjoy. And then Mrs. Fitzgerald says that now I will be leaving, I am going to my home, so you all can enjoy, let the family have their own time, I am moving to my home. The family looks anxiously at Mrs. Pearson, who smiles. Much relieved, they smile back at her. So everybody is looking at each other, and they all are looking at Mrs. Pearson to see whether there is some change after the talk or no. You remember Mrs. Fitzgerald had told, let me talk to her, maybe after that all the things would be put back into its place. All the things will come to normal. So they all are looking at Mrs. Pearson, who smiles at them, so they also have a sigh of relief and they give a back smile to Mrs. Pearson. So then Doris says to her mother, yes mother. Now Doris wants to know what mother wants to speak. Mrs. Pearson, she is smiling and she says, seeing that you don't want to go out, I tell you what I thought we would do. So she is saying, now that you all have dropped your idea of going out. Like Doris is not going out with Charlie Spence. Cyril was supposed to move out, he is also not moving out. Even George Pearson had dropped the plan of moving to the club. So they all have decided to stay at home. So Mrs. Pearson says that now that you all have decided not to move out of the house, so I have something which we can do at home. And what is that? Mrs. Fitzgerald giving a final warning, remember. So again before leaving, Mrs. Fitzgerald finally gives a reminder saying, remember, don't forget, don't apologize. So she only said word remember, which was a warning for Mrs. Pearson to remember what she is supposed to do and what she is not supposed to do. Mrs. Pearson nodding, then looking sharply at the family. No objections, I hope. So she nods, she gives a yes signal to Mrs. Fitzgerald, and then she looks back at the family and then she says, like she had already said, what she had thought they would be doing today. So before saying what she wants them to do, she's saying, I hope there are no objections to it. You all don't mind what I'll be telling and you will be doing it. George, humbly, no mother, whatever you say. So George, he says, oh yes mama, no problem. So when like husband and wife, they call each other sometimes mama and papa just because the children are also calling. So that same way they also address each other. Yes, maybe at your home also when mama is talking about you something and she is talking to father, so she may say, ask papa or papa what do you think about it. So that same way your George Pearson is also saying, no mama, nothing, no objections at all, whatever you say we are going to do it, we are ready to do it. Mrs. Pearson, I thought we would have a nice family game of rummy and then you children could get the supper ready while I have a talk with your father. So she says, let us have a game of rummy, and after we finish the game, both of you, that is Doris and Cyril, they can go into the kitchen and get the supper ready, get the dinner ready. And what is she going to do till that time? She is going to talk to the father. She is going to spend some time with her husband. And since both the children are quite big enough, they can help her out in the kitchen. They can prepare the supper. So she is giving them this duty of preparing the dinner, and meanwhile she has also made it very clear to George, saying that she would like to spend some time with him and have a talk with him. George, suits me. He looks challengingly at the children. What about you two? So, because George doesn't have to do anything, but he is only supposed to talk to his wife. So that's nothing very great or something big deal that he has to do. But he is looking at the children for whom it's a challenge that they are supposed to move into the kitchen and prepare dinner. So he is looking at them as if to show them that this is a big challenge for them, and he is asking, it's perfectly fine with me what I am supposed to do, but what about you two? That means, do you agree to what mother is saying? Cyril, yes, that's all right. Doris, well, So Cyril, he gives in quickly. He says, okay, no problem. No, there's no issue with me. I have no problem. I am ready to prepare the dinner. But then Doris, she is not ready, or she does not show that readiness quickly as it was shown by Cyril. And then she says, well, and she's supposed to speak her complete sentence, but in between Mrs. Pearson says, what? Speak up? So then and there Mrs. Pearson checks her. So this shows that now Mrs. Pearson is really going to be firm with the family. That she is not going to agree with whatever decisions the other members of the family is making. But she would also like that her decisions are also respected in the family. So very firmly she is asking, what? You are not agreeing to it? Okay, speak up, continue and let me know. Doris, oh, I think it would be lovely. Mrs. Pearson, goodbye. Mrs. Fitzgerald, come again soon. So, Doris also agrees that, okay, that's also perfectly fine. Doris also gets scared now. Maybe remembering that if the children don't agree with her, the mother had already said that she is going to go on a holiday for holiday for all weekends, or if possible, if they don't thank her, if they are not grateful towards her, she may also go on a holiday for the entire week. So she remembers the way mother had been behaving up till now, and she agrees. She says, oh no, perfectly fine, it suits me, I am ready to do it, and so on. And then Mrs. Pearson, she looks at Mrs. Fitzgerald and she says, goodbye Mrs. Pearson, thank you in a manner, in a way she is trying to thank Mrs. Fizzle for putting everything in proper place in her family. And then she says, come again soon. So she says, I would like you to come again. And here she is indicating that when Mrs. Fizzle comes back, she would like to share her experiences. How the family is behaving. What is the change in the family, right? And how they are respecting her, how they are obeying her, how they are taking her words seriously. So all these things she would like to discuss and share with Mrs. Fizzle after some time. Yes dear, night all, have a nice time. So Mrs. Fizzle also agrees that yes, she'll surely come to see her, and then she says good night all, and then she is leaving saying have a nice time, have a nice family time. Mrs. Fizzle exits left and the family cluster around mother as the curtain falls. So now Mrs. Fizzle is gone and the entire family, that is the husband, mother, father and children, they all are standing together, keeping the mother in the center. So, and then the curtain falls, that is the end of the. Now, after reading this chapter, how many of you really think that this is the condition of mother in the houses? I am very sure in this modern time, there may be very few families where the mothers are treated this way. But a few years back, or you may say few decades back, this was the actual condition of the mother or the lady in the house. Right? She was not given due respect, due importance. Right? Her decisions were not respected. In fact, nobody asked her for any advice or any suggestions. Whatever the male member would decide is the final verdict. Okay. But slowly with the time, as the women they started learning, they started studying, they started getting educated, and they started moving out of their homes for working and for other things. The condition of the women had started improving, and today we see that a woman is not only a housewife, a mother, but she is also outside at a very reputed places. Many of your mothers, you might be taking them as example for it, right? They are managing the house, they are handling the things in the house, as well as they are very efficiently working outside and trying to handle the world outside. They are trying to maintain the balance at the work and home. Their personal life and professional lives are so well balanced that the children really don't come to know that they are lacking something or their mother is not able to provide them with the things. She is giving them lunch, dinner, breakfast, everything is ready for them. They don't have to wait. They don't have to even ask sometime. Mothers know what time the children would be needing. But we as the children, after growing up, do we really take note? Do we really appreciate them? Or it's only that one day, that is in the year when we celebrate Mother's Day, we try to bake cakes for them, we try to buy gifts for them, we send lovely messages, we click selfies with them. Is this only restricted to that particular day when we celebrate Mother's Day? I want you all to think over it. Whereas if you think about my opinion, if you ask for it, I would say every day is a Mother's Day. Right from the morning till the time you again go back to the bed in the night, not a single thing that you do you can imagine without your mother. In the morning when you get up, first thing we look for is our mother. We get ready. For our breakfast, again we need mother. Before leaving for the school, we need mother. I know many of your mothers might also be doing it. They might be still packing your bags. keeping your tiffins and bottles. Most of us don't even bother to fill the water bottle that we are supposed to bring to the school. Isn't it? As soon as we move from school back to home, the first person we call or we look for is our mother. There may be everybody in the family you could see, but if you are not able to see your mother, you always ask, where's mama? Isn't it? So this shows that mother is important in our life every day, every minute, every second. Without her, you cannot imagine your life. So isn't it our moral duty to really be helpful towards her? She doesn't expect big things. Nobody's mother does that. If you fill your bottle on your own, that would also be a help to your mother. She will appreciate and she'll tell everybody in the family that today she or he has done it on his or her own. They don't fail to give credits to their children. Even if the children are doing very little, small little things, they take note of it. So isn't it our moral duty also to take note of it, whatever mothers are doing for us? To respect them, to respect their decisions. I hope after learning this lesson, we all will change our outlook towards our mother. Right? Everybody. I know we all are doing it. You all are giving respect to your mothers. But there will be still a bit or some more changes in our behavior towards her. So on this note, the lesson comes to an end. So till we meet in our next video, keep learning, keep experiencing and stay safe at home. Take care. Keep respecting your mothers.